What's going on, everyone? It's Average HT, guys. Sorry, I just got done with a fucking coughing fit for some reason. But anyway, as I said, at the time of recording this, it's winter break, and there's no parties. All my friends went home, so I'm just kind of chilling by myself, and it makes me really miss the days of frat parties. And so, I'm gonna tell a story. It's a story very near and dear to my heart. It's probably one of my fondest memories of the days when I used to do cocaine, and that's when I would do cocaine with frat boys. I did this several times over the course of one semester, and every time it was really fucking fun. And yeah, so let's just get into the story. So the first time I ever did this, it didn't even really start until maybe like midnight, and there wasn't even a party this night. So it was just me, Kyle, and Kevin. I don't even know if Jason was back yet. It was like November, so probably not. But we meet up with our good friend Braden, and actually the president of this local fraternity. I'm not going to say which one, but we decided to get together with him, and he was telling us that he wanted to do some blow. So we decide tonight's the night. And so the way this frat house was set out was there was the main floor, there was the bedrooms upstairs, and then there was the basement. The basement had one bedroom and the main bathroom. And so we were just kind of, you know, getting ready for the night ahead. And it almost seemed like this basement was kind of built to do cocaine in because it had a one bedroom with a door that locked, and it was actually a pretty spacious bedroom. And the funniest part of this first time that we did this was that there was actually someone asleep in the room, so we were taking care not to wake him up. We were still talking and playing music and shit, but we were just being very cautious. And so the entire night it's me, the Kevin, Kyle, Braden, and this other guy. We'll call him Dale. So it's us four. Dale was actually a coworker of Kyle at the time, and he was a pretty big drug enthusiast, and he had also been wanting to do blow with us for a while. So this was the night when the stars, the cocaine stars aligned. And so anyway, the whole night we're just chopping up a line after line, you know, railing them as we're chopping them up. We're talking, we're listening to music, we're just having a good time. And it's and Braden was on aux, and he was playing like some Dean Martin type shit, and I was really fucking vibing with that because that's my kind of music. And so we were all just singing, laughing, talking, having a good time. And the night had gone on, and I think we were just talking about like Breaking Bad and shit. And then the next morning, everybody in the frat house had woken up, and they came downstairs to see what was going on. And so we had the door locked every time we were doing stuff, of course. And so when someone knocked on the door, we put all the stuff away, and then we opened the door a crack to see who it was. And we saw that it was the frat boys. But the thing is, this time we had forgotten to put away our mirror. And so they walk in and they all look at us and they can tell we're fucking geeked. And then they see the mirrors out and there's probably a little bit of blow residue on it. And so one of the guys looks at me and he said, "So y'all been having a good time down here." And I'm like, and I do the old, I can't confirm or deny. And then, then comes the next time. The next time we got some of those people who had come down that morning to join in with us. And so, what are we gonna call them? There were two guys. We'll call them Chris. Call the other one. What two of them had the same name, so we'll say Chris and Christopher. And the other one was named Mark. So that's what we'll call them for this video. And so they were getting in on this shit. And So we're posted up in the basement, doing our lines, having our fun, and then someone knocks on the door. And this person I will refer to, I don't want to give them an actual name, I want to call them by this name. Called them Coke Dokes because they were kind of like Dokes from Dexter, but about trying to find people who were doing cocaine. They weren't an actual cop, they were just a party goer. I guess I'll stop saying they. It was a she. It was she and her boyfriend. I'm not even gonna give the boyfriend a name. He was such a fucking nothing person. He never spoke. He never fucking vibe with us. He was like a statue. And so she came in the first time and she was like, "What are y'all doing?" And we're just like, "Oh, we're just down here chilling." And then she came down a second time and she was like, "Seriously, what are y'all doing?" And I had kind of gotten a little fed up, so I jokingly said, "Oh, we're just fucking." And then they started joining in and was like, "Yeah, we're all fucking each other." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a total gangbang circle jerk type thing." And then she just is absolutely disgusted and then just leaves. So after that, her friend, Coke Doke's friend, decides to come down to the basement with us. But this girl isn't as uptight about it. Actually, she joins in with us. According to Kyle, she was a pretty big drug dealer, and she just joined right in. And so, yeah, she had a fucking. So again, she just starts railing lines, and we'll call this girl Renee. I don't know if I already gave her a name, but we'll call her Renee. And she would join in on the next couple coke sessions, and after every time we would do this, after we were done, we would go upstairs and we'd join the party. And the parties were always bumping after we were bumping. And, we would dance, sing along to every song, play beer pong. I remember Kyle was just flaming me because I was dog shit at ping pong because I kept shaking the beer pong, I mean. And I would try to do the old Coke Riz, get some girl Snapchats. Didn't work out most of the time, but I still gave the old college try. And then, as we kept coming back, we started mixing our Coke with ketamine, and they actually wanted to try ketamine. So I think the first time we ever brought it, we just brought a little baggie, and they would take bumps out of it, and we would do it off like knives and shit. But then afterwards, we would mix it in with the Coke lines. And it was just a good fucking time when we would do that. Everybody would be getting geeked. We would just be, talking about random bullshit, but it was just a really fun time. And so, well, one bad thing that did come of this was people would knock over and over, and every time our coked out asses would think, "Oh my god, the police are fucking raiding this place right now," but it would always turn out to just be some couple looking for a place to fuck. And so we had to deal with that. But then one night, one of the fraternity brothers just came in and just decided to kick everyone out, which I don't know why. But we had to abscond the vicinity. And so, what is a fella to do? Well, we started doing the classic going to the bathroom and doing bumps. So we would either do knuckle bumps, key bumps, or if we were feeling really risky, we would pour lines out on the bathroom counter and do that. And so, but after we got a little tired of that, a couple of frat brothers said that if we wanted to, of course, Braden was one of them, but also another one, what's his name? We'll call him, I'm trying to think of a name. I've used so many C names so far. Uh, Fuck, we'll call him Trevor. So, Trevor lets us do some in his room off his laptop. And it was a fun time. It was pretty cramped in that room, but we would just chop up, do our little lines. And but another bad thing was there were more people looking for places to fuck. So that coke paranoia would kick in again, and we would have to answer it and just tell them to go away. But again, we always thought it was the fucking cops or the fucking somebody coming to bust us. But what do you do with when you're still coked up, you're kind of coming down, and everybody's leaving the party? You know, the party is over. And so what did we do? Well, we would go to people's dorm rooms, of course, and keep doing well. Um, so one person we would go to a lot, we'll call him, what are we gonna call him? Call him Jordan. So Jordan would let us come over to his dorm room, or if we wanted to go over to, we usually would go over to Kevin's if his roommate wasn't there, and just do blow off the desk. But some nights we would go over to Jordan's, and we would do coke off his desk. We'd talk. We'd play his Xbox. We'd listen to music, of course. And yeah, it was always a fun time. He's a chill dude. We would get DoorDash sometimes, and I'd have to walk all the way across campus for them to find me in my bare feet. And then once I got back, they would turned out to come look for me. And after that, I would call them, say, "Oh, I'm ODing on the street," and they actually got kind of freaked out. But I'm like, "Nah, I'm good, guys. Just come back to the room." But yeah, that was that was my fun times with frat boys, just hitting the slopes with some boys, that's the American dream, isn't it? But anyway, this has been Average THC Guy, and I'll see you in the